Hi, my name is Ryan Detweiler. I teach English at Miracosta College in Southern California, and I maintain the ESL Video website. And today, Mary and I are going to tell you how we did a virtual exchange with Google Slides and how we think we can do this with our online classes.
Hi everyone, my name is Mary Hughes and I'm an instructor at Chemeketa Community College in Salem, Oregon.
Right on. Real quick, what is a virtual exchange? A virtual exchange is when your students create and share work with a partner class. Mary and I, our students, they did this for 5 weeks, and the goal was for them to improve their English, their writing, and their computer skills. What technology can you use? You can use technology that you're familiar with. I mean, that's what Mary and I want to emphasize. It's up to you. You can use Google Slides, Google Docs, Adobe Spark, Flipgrid, Google Sites, Zoom. Use technology that you're already familiar with. It will save you time. What can your students exchange? Writing, videos.
So we'll introduce our classes to you. So as I mentioned, we are in Oregon in the Pacific Northwest. I had a group about 18 to 20 students, non-credit ESL, and we met on Tuesday, Thursday mornings, and it was a really good mix of students from different backgrounds and different interests, different ages of adults.
Mm-hmm. My class is very similar, adults, but we're down in California, and they're also non-credit, intermediate, and about the same class size.
So what kind of virtual exchange did we do? So we decided to do weekly writing assignments, as Ryan had mentioned, and we used Google Slides. It's really important to choose something that you're familiar with. So that's why I wanted to work on Google Slides. And what is Google Slides? It's a presentation software, but multiple people can work on it at the same time. You can see changes as they're made, and you don't have to remind your students to save their work because every change is saved automatically.
Where did we meet? We met right here, the ESL Video Virtual Exchange Project. I signed up, Mary signed up, we looked at the spreadsheet, I emailed her, and we started planning. We started planning our exchange. When you're looking for a partner, remember, you can partner with anybody, anywhere in the world. Time zone isn't an issue unless you're planning synchronous conversation meetings. You do want to look at the student age and student level. It's important to partner with a teacher teaching the same age and the same level. Look at the class size. This will work best if you are working with a partner teacher whose class is about the same size as your class.
So we have some suggestions when you're planning. First of all, think about what's familiar and easy for you. As I mentioned, we chose Google Slides because I don't know how to use Google Sites or Flipgrid. And I felt comfortable using Google Slides and I could teach my students how to use it. Also, the assignments should be something that students can do on their own. You set up the project and students are capable of doing the assignments on their own. And what were our goals? So we wanted our students to meet people in different locations, students that probably they have similarities with, have fun, of course. We wanted them to practice writing, improve their writing, and also gain computer skills and word processing skills.
Totally. So how did we set it up? What's the magic formula? How did we do it? So here's my class. I'm here. And here's Mary's class. We created groups with students from each class, and then we created a slide deck for each group. Okay? And then we gave each group weekly writing assignments. The group would work in that slide deck and they could see each other's writing and they could ask each other questions. They couldn't see other groups, only their own slide deck.
So just to emphasize, it's one shared slide deck per group. And then each week, the teacher updates and gives the weekly writing assignment. And you could, give the students a reward at the end for who maintained the longest streak. We found that we didn't have to do that.
Yeah, they were already motivated. In fact, here's one group project. This is what it looks like. So this is Mary, Alexia, Hong, and Claudia's project. Assignment 1, introduce yourselves, right? Introduce yourself. They asked each other some questions. Assignment 2, where are some places you have been? Assignment 3, we asked them to get pictures from their cell phone and then write about some pictures from their cell phone. Assignment 4, health. What do you do to stay healthy? And assignment 5, in the 5th week, we asked them to write about a friend or someone they admire. And that's what they did. That's one example. So how did we set it up?
So it's very easy. We set it up very quickly. We had a 1-hour Zoom meeting and we had the whole project planned out. We first talked about logistics. My students would work on the classwork on Tuesday mornings, and Ryan's class would work on the project on Thursday evenings.
And then we also brainstormed what they would write about. We brainstormed topics for weekly writing assignments. And remember, you can make this whatever is interesting for you and your students according to their interest, age level, and technical ability. Pick the assignments that work best for your students.
Then we formed groups. So I formed groups in my class, and I put different language groups together, similar students of similar interests, maybe similar age. And then I worked with Ryan, and we paired the groups from my class to his class.
Mary's students, Ryan's students, students from each class. And then we created a slide deck for each group. Each group got one slide deck.
Then we introduced the project to our students. We generated some interest by showing each of our classes the other class picture. We talked about their location, where they were. We looked on the college websites. We looked at Google Images, Google Maps to see what the area looked like. Yeah. And then we also had an introduction to Google Slides.
And they were excited about soon to be interacting with the other class. Showed them a little bit about Google Slides. And then when the project was underway, when we were doing it, we created a teacher demo, right? We had this teacher demo. So we explained the weekly assignments with the teacher demo, and we'd make the slide and then paste it in each deck. 10 groups, 10 slides. You just paste the assignment in each deck. So each group opens the slides, sees the assignment, and they start working. And then
we just had a very quick weekly email that went back and forth just to let each other know how the class went.
Super easy to maintain. And we think that we can do this with our remote classes. We think that we can totally do this with our remote classes. And we think that maybe there are some advantages to using breakout rooms. If we use breakout rooms, our students will be in smaller groups and they can hang out and talk while they work. And also when they're in those smaller groups, the teacher can see all the different projects, and see the students working in real time, right? And also the teacher can pop into these smaller groups to answer any questions that the students might have. And the teacher can work with the smaller groups. It probably would work best in breakout rooms.
Yeah, so there's an example of how you could monitor the students. So you could open up all of the Google slide decks, and then you could join their breakout room, can talk to the students, see how they're doing, or you could even just make a comment on the Google slide form.
Yeah, so say we're doing a Zoom class that's going to be 2.5, 3 hours long. Maybe one day a week or so, they do this project for 40 minutes or an hour. And this would be a way that you could open up the slide decks, see them working in real time, and like Mary says, you could join their groups and just check in with them. How you doing? They could finish for homework, right? They don't need to share their screen. They just open up their Google Slide project and they're working in real time, right? So if Mary and I are in the group, we both open up the slide deck. I can see Mary working and Mary can see me working. We're not on the same slide, but I can see that she's working on her slide, I'm working on my slide, and we're talking. That's why we have this arrow here. It's pointing at the different people working on this slide deck. You guys know Google Slides. One thing that's important though is we do want to try to show the students how to organize the desktop so that we can see the Zoom player, the video, and the Google Slides side by side. And the video in the resources, it shows how to do that. So the resources down below, you have the example of the group slide deck. You can use that when you're introducing the Virtual Exchange project to your class if you want. You can show them what it looks like. There is a project there to teach the students how to use Google Slides, or to show them again how to do it. Check that out. There's also a video that shows how to detach and then put the Zoom video and the slides side by side. It might look different on your PC, or it might look a little different, but they'll get the idea and then they'll figure out how to do it, right? So quick conclusions. The project was a success. Yay, right? They had fun, they improved their writing, they improved their word processing skills, and on a larger scale, they improved their computer skills.
Yeah, and we gave the weekly writing assignments, but that led to students communicating with each other naturally back and forth. They were so engaged in asking and answering questions that sometimes the class was over, but then they just would finish their assignment from home later or in the computer lab later.
Guys, Google Slides worked great. If you're looking for a project that is easy to plan, is super fun for the students, and it's easy for them to share work, I mean, the Google Slides worked great, and we would recommend it.
And it's very adaptable. Just think about what you want them to work on. Think about their interests, their ages, and skill levels.
Totally. And finally, some observations. Sometimes the students forgot to put their name on the slide. Just remind them, right? Put your name on the slide. It gets long.
And sometimes the slides got out of order, or there might be a new slide or duplicate slide that appeared. You just go through and clean them up from time to time.
Not often, but sometimes the groups changed. A new student joined the class. Somebody was absent. So we were just flexible. You know, that's the nature of non-credit ESL.
And all in all, the students really enjoyed the project. They engaged, they had meaningful communication, they practiced writing, they got better at Google Slides. It was a great project, and it was super easy for Ryan and I to set up. Once we set it up, it just rolls by itself. Yeah,
totally, exactly. And we wanted to share that with you and give you a video kind of overview of a virtual exchange and how you can do it online. And I so hope that you give it a go. You try it, because you totally can do it. If you have any questions, you can email me or you can email Mary, and have fun.
Thank you. You should try it.
Bye-bye.